Never Have I Ever is back, and we're ready to catch up with Devi and all her friends. Hey there, it's Kristen, and today we're talking about Never Have I Ever Season 2. Devi is stuck in the middle of a love triangle between Paxton and Ben, and a new girl at school makes things even more complicated. Consider subscribing if you like my videos, and drop down in the comments and let me know your thoughts on Never Have I Ever. And let me know, are you Team Paxton or Team Ben? Who do you want Devi to end up with? I'll tell you, I'm Team Trent. I think we need to see so much more of him. And I can hook you up with that right away because I have a brand new Pop Culture Planet episode with Benjamin Norris, who stars as Trent in Never Have I Ever, and he talks about what it was like filming this season. You can check that out right over here. So season 2 of Never Have I Ever picks up right where we left off, literally with Devi kissing Ben in the car. Later on, she ends up in a similar situation with Paxton. So now she's even more torn between the two guys because they're both actually interested in her. Devi is a person that can be very selfish and sometimes makes the wrong choices, and so her big plan, because she's supposed to be moving to India, is that she'll just date both guys and neither of them have to know.
Oh my god. I have 2 boyfriends.
I think last season we really saw Devi make a lot of big mistakes and she kind of was blaming the people around her, but in this season I think you do get to see her try a little bit harder to be a better person for herself and for her friends and her family. She still makes a lot of mistakes, and I think we get to see Ben step in as her conscience a lot of the time, and so ultimately I would love to see Ben be with Devi because I think that he is someone that could overall help her grow as a person. Last season I also felt like we didn't really get to dive as deeply into the other people in Devi's life, and this time I think they tried, but didn't fully succeed, but tried to give us more dimension with the other characters. It's not just all Devi all the time. Eleanor had her own story going on with different love interests. Fabiola was going through the struggle of not really feeling like she fit in with the other LGBTQ+ people at her school because she's not hip on pop culture and things like that. We also get to dive further into Devi's mom and an upcoming relationship she has with another doctor played by Common, and also Kamala and the struggles that she's dealing with as a woman in the science field, as someone who is trying to stand up for herself and, you know, maybe even take a little bit more inspiration from someone like Devi, who is always speaking her mind and kind of taking whatever she wants. And of course she has another bit of relationship drama as well. It seems like each season so far she has a love interest, and then, you know, when things get serious it's time to bolt because that's not the right person. And I was kind of liking the little ship that they were hinting at between her and Devi's teacher. I thought he seemed really fun and hip and cool. And Paxton, we really got a chance to dive further into his story, and I really appreciated that because he was another character that last season I felt like they didn't really explore him enough, and we get to really learn about his half-Japanese heritage, his struggles in school, and he finally starts making this effort to try. We also get a brand new character in this season, Anissa, who is another Indian American student. Her and Devi have like a bit of a back and forth where like maybe they could be friends, maybe they won't, and I have to say I really liked Anissa. I thought that she came in and was like one of the more fleshed out characters compared to people that we've been following since the first season, and I hope that she sticks around and becomes part of the group. There's a couple of star-studded moments, you know, like I mentioned, Common has a recurring role. Gigi Hadid narrates the 3rd episode around Paxton. Apparently that was actually supposed to be Chrissy Teigen, but after all of the controversy she's been under, she dropped out of that role and Gigi Hadid stepped in, and also Andy Samberg makes a quick little voiceover cameo there as well. Devi has done a lot of things that I think have made her a little bit of a social outcast at some points of this show, and Paxton is unsure like if he wants to be with her. He likes her, but he's like kind of embarrassed a little bit of like, what does it look like if I go out with this girl who cheated on me and then I got hit by a car in front of her house? And you know, I think these are things to really think about because yeah, Devi did all these terrible things, but also he's kind of not been the best guy to her either, and we do see this back and forth kind of about Devi's self-worth, Paxton's image. Can they really be together? Ultimately he decides to push that aside to be with her, but it feels a little bit hollow, it feels a little bit empty, and you can see at the end Ben is still very interested in Devi, and I would ultimately like to see her with him and maybe have Paxton grow in a different way, you know, education wise, going off to college. I just don't think I see him and Devi lasting together. Some other things I wanted to mention about the show, there's a lot of really fun pop culture references as there was in the first season. In fact, I feel like Paxton has a whole like Regina George Mean Girls storyline in a way, you know, with the getting hit by a car and some of the lines that he says. There is a little bit of a hint of maybe something going on between Trent and Eleanor, which I would love to see. I think that that would be so cute to see the two of them together if the show gets a season 3. I also have to say I really liked Devi's outfits this season. There was one really cool like denim jacket with like all this embroidery on it that I thought was so cool. I was like, I love that. I would love to buy that. And then overall, you know, I would love to see more development with the supporting characters. I just think that they can take that a bit further. I think that there's definitely going to be more going on with Devi and this love triangle. It's not over yet. I don't think Ben's out of the picture just yet. But also, I wish that there was a little bit more going on outside of just the focus of this love triangle. And I just hope that we get to see Devi grow more as a character and go on a bigger journey where she can accept her dad's passing, maybe accept new people into her life, and not be so boy crazy. You know, I'd love to see her move a little bit beyond that. Looking back on this season, I just feel like there's not a lot that goes on in this show. Yes, there is the back and forth of this love triangle. We have a new student. I think Paxton gets a big arc where we actually get to learn a lot more about him, but overall I feel like there's not a lot of big moments that really progress this show forward and make it one that I feel like you can't miss. Never Have I Ever has its moments, but this is a show that I feel like is missing something that will keep you hooked. If you guys like this one, you can check out more of my Netflix reviews right over here, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya.